In the top stories, Governor General refuting article online involving him. St. Lucia's acting Deputy Police Commissioner reveals new strategies. And Silicon Valley businesswoman Elizabeth Holmes sentenced to more than 11 years in prison. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Tuesday, the 22nd of November, 2022. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, Governor General His Excellency Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, GCMG CVO QCJP LLD, has condemned an image circulating on social media with a news article featuring the Governor General as false and malicious. The following is a statement from Government House issued on Tuesday morning. It has been brought to my attention that there's a story on the internet claiming to emanate from the St. Kitts Nevis Observer.com and purporting to report a matter attributed to me. I unreservedly refute this story as false and malicious in an attempt to involve me in a matter of which I have no knowledge. I have, and I am fully engaged in the discharge of my duties as Governor General and condemn this as false and malicious. I wish to inform that the matter has been referred to the police for investigation. The statement comes as photos depicting an online article circulate on social media claiming that, quote, Tapley Seaton launches newest project aims to help families become wealthier, end quote. The photo has a St. Kitts Nevis Observer logo in the header, and the lead paragraph says, quote, due to the financial crisis around the world, Tapley Seaton has launched a new project to help families become wealthier. Citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis are already raking in thousands of dollars from home, end quote. The Governor General has declared this article as false. Students in St. Kitts and Nevis and 11 other countries in the region will have a direct conversation with an astronaut at the International Space Station this afternoon. The students, chosen from Antigua and Barbuda, Cayman Islands, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Panama, the Dominican Republic, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Trinidad and Tobago, were selected from 26 participating countries. The 14 students will be able to speak live to NASA astronaut Josh Cassada on board the International Space Station, or ISS. During this event, the students will have the opportunity to learn about natural hazard research and monitoring as seen from the unique perspective of an astronaut on the International Space Station. The live event will be broadcast on YouTube at 12:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 1:10 p.m. local time. The activity will also be followed by schools in the 26 countries which participated in this initiative. In other news, the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank Limited is hailing the Diabetes Association for its continued support to people living with diabetes and did so at the association's annual walk. National Bank's Chief Information Service Officer Quincy Prentice said, quote, diabetes, as we know, plagues us in the community, and it is one of the several non-communicable diseases that leave us so weak. We say that it is really important that the work that the Diabetes Association is doing is drawing awareness to the scourge of diabetes, end quote. The walk that took participants from the Cenotaph via Bay Road to the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank roundabout and back to the Cenotaph. The Public Relations Officer of the St. Kitts Diabetes Association, Dr. Reginald O'Loughlin, said the bank gave tangibly to the cause. He said, quote, St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank Limited, which is the largest not only in St. Kitts and Nevis but in the OECS, came on board last year offering their support tangibly. You'll see their logo on our shirts. They came on board to assist us with the organization of this particular walk, and we're appreciative of their efforts, and so it is in order to say thanks to them, end quote. Moving now to news on the regional scene, Acting Deputy Police Commissioner Ronald Phillip has revealed some new strategies the Royal St. Lucia Police Force intends to use in order to tackle crime as the country grapples with a homicide rate of 62 for the year. Nancy Ben has more in this report.
Just last evening, a Forkani Babuno resident was shot dead around 10 p.m. This brings the homicide number for the year to 62. Residents have expressed anxiety over the recent increase in gun-related crimes. All quarters of the public are asking the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to help alleviate the crime. Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police Ronald Phillip discloses some of the plans of the police force.
I will admit that we have an issue in terms of with the number of police officers we have currently. I know that the Commissioner is in dialogue with the powers that be. We are looking at ways of hiring more police officers, more regular police officers, more special constables. This is an ongoing discussion.
Another plan of the police force is community policing. Most of the gun-related homicides occur outside of the limits of Castries Central. Philip says the police force will bolster its presence in the communities in an effort to reduce crimes committed.
From an executive standpoint, the Commissioner of Police has just assumed office, and we're going to have our police week starting November 27th. I think this is an initiative of the Commissioner of Police. This is one way that the Commissioner intends to rebuild the trust of the public by being more visible in the community, communities.
It can be noted that one issue preventing the efficiency of community policing is public distrust of the police force. Philip says officers need to first conduct themselves in a professional manner if they wish to be trusted and respected by the community.
In relation to the trust, again, we are asking police officers to be professional. I think that is where the problem lies. If we conduct ourselves in a professional manner, then persons will obviously have a little more respect for us. But that does not mean to say that, yes, we speak community policing, but it does not mean community policing is not a soft side of policing. Community policing deals with community participation, trust, respect, professionalism.
The Community Policing Initiative, which is set to begin on November 27, 2022, promises to help reduce the crime rate in communities. Despite the stiffened gun penalties, gun-related crimes occur almost every day. Nancy Ben, NBC Prime.
Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Philip Pierre, is looking forward to Tuesday's Parliament session, where financial support for small businesses and the appointment of a Deputy Speaker are down on the agenda. Here's more.
Tuesday's sitting of the House of Assembly expects to see the passing of a resolution for a $10 million loan to provide financial assistance to small businesses. This comes at a time when micro-enterprises and potential entrepreneurs have been complaining of difficulties in accessing loans to either start or expand their businesses.
It's the first time that the government is giving a direct investment and injection in small businesses that will create jobs and create sustainable employment for small businesses, number one. Number two, the Minister of Equity told you, we are borrowing to reduce poverty, to improve equity, to give people another chance in life, putting people first.
Another agenda item is the appointment of a Deputy Speaker. The ruling party will request a 90-day period to facilitate an amendment to the Constitution to allow someone from outside of Parliament to fill the post.
That's a government that's transparent, no backdoor, like what happened the last time. Be transparent. We're going straight to the public and say that's what we're doing.
Tuesday's sitting of the House of Assembly gets underway from 10 a.m. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
Internationally, American Silicon Valley entrepreneur Elizabeth Holmes has been sentenced to 11 years in jail for fraud. Her time as the CEO of blood testing company Theranos spawned documentaries, books, and a television miniseries. Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds reports.
Fame, disgrace, now prison. Formerly high-flying tech entrepreneur Elizabeth Holmes was sentenced to 11.25 years in federal prison on Friday. Holmes was convicted of fraud and conspiracy in January. In pronouncing sentence, Judge Edward Davila said, "This is sad because Ms. Holmes is brilliant. Failure is normal, but failure by fraud is not okay." Prosecutors had asked for 15 years in prison. Holmes's lawyers asked for a much lighter sentence of 18 months of home confinement. Before sentencing, Holmes apologized, saying she was devastated and full of regret. The 38-year-old has one small child and is expecting another baby. Holmes founded Theranos, a Silicon Valley startup that claimed to have perfected technology that could diagnose a multitude of diseases with a single drop of blood. But the technology never worked. a fact Holmes kept secret from wealthy investors like Fox owner Rupert Murdoch and Oracle's Larry Ellison. Holmes had a persuasive ability and was able to recruit figures like former U.S. Secretaries of State Henry Kissinger and George Shultz to sit on Theranos' board. Digging by investigative journalists eventually revealed Theranos' fakery, and the whole edifice collapsed 4 years ago. Prosecutors also asked for hundreds of millions of dollars in restitution, but the judge deferred a decision on that till later. At the height of her fame, Holmes's company was worth $9 billion. She hobnobbed with politicians, celebrities, and billionaires, and the media treated her to numerous adoring articles. Now it appears she will be spending time behind bars, although she's likely to appeal her sentence. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.
Living conditions in opposition-held areas of Syria are deteriorating due to a lack of jobs and aid organizations reducing support. Food and fuel prices have also increased, and the economic crisis in neighboring Turkey is also having an effect. Al Jazeera's Sinem Kosoglu reports.
You may think this is a traffic jam, but these lines are caused by a shortage of fuel in Idlib, the most densely populated city in northwest Syria. Ahmed, like many others here, used a motorbike to get around. He was only able to buy 1 liter of fuel, and it cost him $2, a price considered high in the area.
This much won't even get me from home to work. Fuel is only available through the local council. You must register, and there is a long list. If it goes on like this, we won't be able to feed our families.
The Salvation Government of Idlib, founded by a former Al-Qaeda affiliate, has imposed taxes and limited fuel and sugar sales.
The local government is to blame for the shortage because it is not importing enough fuel. The black marketeers sell it to the people at 3 times the normal price. Can you believe that we burn shoes sometimes? We are fed up with our lives.
At least 4 million live in Idlib. Most have fled their homes in other provinces. Nearly half the population lives in refugee camps and depends on humanitarian aid to survive.
I've been burning firewood for the past 2 months. I couldn't even fill my gas cylinder because I can't afford it. I wish I could live like a human being.
The plunging currency in Turkey has spilled over into the city, which adopted the Turkish lira more than 2 years ago. While the world is focused on the humanitarian crisis caused by the war in Ukraine, Syrians are battling with international funding shortfalls. They're hoping that donors and governments will remember their commitments in this 12-year war. Sinem Kosoglu, Al Jazeera.
And now for the weather. Present weather is partly cloudy with slight haze. The temperature for today is 30 degrees Celsius or 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are east at 12 to 22 miles per hour with possible gusts to up to 32 miles per hour, mainly over coastal waters and elevated terrain. Seas are moderate with waves of 6 to 8 feet and a small craft advisory is in effect. The weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis today will be partly cloudy with brief periods of increased cloudiness and a 60% or moderate chance of showers. Tonight will be partly cloudy with brief periods of increased cloudiness and a 60% or moderate chance of showers. Sunset today will be at 5:35 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:19 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Davis.